All right. As far as a day having a couple situations, I mean, we're talking about a situation here with Carlos Correa. I mean, holy shit. Everyone in the world knew that the Giants panicked with that signing. $350 million. He's getting paid almost double what Swanson got, who is on the field way more than him. And they're both clutch. I get that Correa is a killer. I've seen it. I've seen it a million times as a Yankee fan. But the point is that the Giants panicked after they thought they were getting Judge. Everyone knew it. The optics were horrible. Yesterday, when I saw that the press conference was faltering because of medical disagreements, some felt fishy. But did I think it was going to fall through and Steve Cohen was going to swoop in an instant? No. So I wake up to the Correa news, and make no mistake, the New York Mets, without a doubt in anyone's mind now, are not only the alphas of baseball, but they are the alphas of this town. It's just a fact. I mean, when you're going to spend so much money that the luxury tax for Steve Cohen is going to be greater than 7 MLB teams' full payrolls, you're the alpha. And I don't want to hear from Mets fans, which I've been hearing the whole morning today. They're like walking it back and they're trying to play it cool. No, your team now has, without a doubt, the largest payroll there is. There's immense pressure on them to win, and your team is good now. So there's no like, oh, you know what? I think we're really good this year. No, you got to go out and win. So all these Mets fans who are trying to act like, oh, you know what? I mean, I don't love the move. Shut up, okay? You've been bitching for the last 20 since I've been alive, talking about Wilpon, the Wilpons, I should say, and the ownership and how they don't spend money and how they don't care. Now you have the exact opposite, the antithesis, if you will. You got to own it. You absolutely have to own it, okay? So I don't love the deal, okay? $315 million is going to be, again, basically 41. Less money than the Giants deal, okay. But that's not the point here. They're going to be spending money whenever they want to. So whether he's going to be good for the next 3-4 years and get hurt, they're just going to sign someone else. So go out and go win now. You have an electric infield, right? They're going to put McNeil at second, Alonso at first, we all know, Lindor now at short, and then Correa at third. Personally, I don't really know what you do with McNeil, but like I would rather – I really would – and I guess Jeff plays a little bit of third base, I believe. I could be wrong on that. But I'd put Correa at second base. He's more athletic. I mean, you're going to stick him in the corner. I heard Harold Reynolds say that today. It's true. You're gonna take one of the more athletic infielders in baseball. You're gonna put him at third base. It doesn't make any sense. Granted, the Yankees did that with A-Rod. Anyway, Correa is going to be a great fit the next 3 or 4 years. I don't think it matters after that because they're gonna keep spending money. So if you're telling me that, God forbid, Correa gets hurt in 3 years and derails his whole contract, they're not gonna sign another big gun? Of course they will. So you got to enjoy this now. You got to win now. The Mets have 2 40-year-old pitchers basically. Okay, I get that one just won the Cy Young, but it doesn't matter. He's 40 years old. You have to win now. There's no waiting. There's none of this garbage. So, listen, you sign Correa, you do it. If I'm a Mets fan and I'm not lying to myself, I am ecstatic, okay? I'm absolutely ecstatic. And last thing I'll say about this Mets-Yankees dynamic also, and putting this to bed, I'm hearing that the Yankees and the Mets are colluding, that Steve Cohen and Hal Steinbrenner are colluding. Get that garbage out of here, okay? I feel like the Mets, I mean, it is weird that the Mets didn't float anything Judge's way. Having said that, they had bigger fish to fry. I mean, they really did. DeGrom, they were worrying about. I just feel like they probably took an approach where it's like, all right, we're not going to get involved in this arms race with Judge. There's a lot of other targets, and they had a lot of other targets they went after, and they clearly signed them. So bottom line is the Yankees are clowns now, and they've been trending that way, but now they're true clowns, especially with the Mets rising up and becoming this just juggernaut. But again, they're going to have to prove it because there's 2 ways this coin can flip. It's a very pressurized situation. So on one hand, the Mets can rise above. They can win maybe a couple championships in the next 4 or 5 years. And then it becomes a problem for baseball where they say, okay, maybe we need a luxury tax, maybe we need a salary cap just because of this guy Steve Cohen. Maybe we do, because now he's just going to keep buying and buying and buying and winning and winning and winning. Or this will become an abject failure. The Mets choke and they don't win, and every time they don't win now consecutively, the pressure gets greater and greater and greater because not only just the payroll, but the personalities and the promises, right? So we'll see. I think they're probably the best team in the division. The Phillies did get better. They had Taijuan Walker and obviously Trey Turner, so they get stronger in both legs. They're going to have a fully healthy Harper second half of the year. Phillies are intriguing. And then the Braves, they're getting Soroka back full time now. Clearly they lost Swanson, whatever. Dansby Swanson. But okay, either way, you're making the playoffs with the 50 fucking teams make the playoffs this year now. So I'm happy for the Mets, and this is more of a dig at the Yankees than I would have imagined. So now let's flip over to the Yankees situation. So the first thing I want to say about the Yankees is in terms of today's events is that Judge press conference. So I don't really have an issue with him being named the captain. He's clearly the leader of the team. Aaron Judge is. Guys have been named the captain without winning before, right? I mean, the last one before Jeter being Don Mattingly never won a title, so I get it. Having said that, it's a little bit different. And the reason I say that is because the Mattingly teams just weren't good, really. The Judge teams have consistently underperformed and upset and disappointed the fans and the team. And namely, Judge has not been good in the playoffs at all. I don't want to hear anything else. I haven't really discussed exactly how I feel about this Judge signing. I know I touched on it quickly. You kind of had to do it. When Heyman tweeted that Arson Judge was going to the Giants, I was almost relieved and happy. I thought it was going to be a nice new era, and they were going to be able to take that money, allocate it elsewhere, and it was going to be very, very good. But I'm not upset that they re-signed Judge, clearly. The bottom line is he doesn't hit in the playoffs yet. Until he does, I'm going to be bitching. It's simple as that. So when you see that all these people are bitching, like when you see Michael Kay and everyone claiming, oh, the Yankees did sign or did spend the X amount of money this offseason, it was to keep the same team that failed. I want to go above and beyond. If this was George, we'd be going above and beyond. If this was George, oh my God. If Steve Cohen was in town and George was still the owner, it would be an actual arms race. It would be insane, and it would be amazing. But this is not how Hal rolls. He's a little bit slow. He speaks with that weird, like, it sounds, I don't even know. It just, his voice annoys me. It's just really disappointing to me. And so anyway, getting back to Judge, what's interesting to me is just the press conference in general, all the optics. So you have across town this giant celebration of news, and then the Yankees are like celebrating nothing for the most part. I mean, really, you get Aaron Boone up there. Aaron Boone, how old's Aaron Boone? He's 50? I think he's born in like 1972. He's had a fucking cold for 12 months. He's had a cold for a fucking year and a half. I understand you get sick sometimes. This guy is sick every day of the year. He's at the podium with a nasal drip, coughing and dripping all over the place. Someone get this fucking guy some medical attention. I mean, Jesus Christ. So I got to listen to him talk about Aaron Judge like he's God, which, okay, yeah, he did objectively. I mean, the best offensive season I've ever seen anyone have since I've been alive, without a doubt. I'm not denying that. They didn't win a fucking thing. So to see Aaron Boone, all the Aarons I'm done with. Not Aaron Judge, but Hicks, Boone. When I see Boone like almost celebrating with this smile ear to ear, and how like he even like pussied out of saying and guaranteeing a title or two. He was gonna say it, and you could pull up the video. He was going to say it, and then kind of tiptoed around it. Excuse me, as I cough like Boone does. And then he says like we're like our goal is to bring the title back, and then he has to slip in how it's a very hard road. Dude, no one gives a shit if it's a very hard road, okay? It's been 5 fucking years we've underperformed. No one wants to hear it's been a hard road. Then you get Steinbrenner up there, who really is just a shell of his father. I hate to say it, but he is. Everything. Like, he's patting himself on the back for things that no one cares about. Sign the deal, get it done, and move on. I got to listen to him pat himself on the back about how 3 a.m. he called Judge. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear that whatsoever. Steve Cohen is literally teabagging you. Like, they might as well have invited Steve Cohen into the Yankees presser, have Judge and his wife in suits and pantsuits go ahead and stare, and Hal get on the fucking press conference table, not the podium, the long table that Cashman has his fucking stupid arms on, and and Steve Cohen just teabags him right in the eye. That would have showed exactly what's going on in this town in terms of baseball. I mean, really. So I'm not a negative Yankee fan. I'm a realist. This team has not improved at all yet. Obviously, they've improved in terms of pitching. Pitching is not the fucking need. Before they signed Garrett Cole, I've been saying this. They've lost every single year because they can't hit. You could see the writing's on the wall when in July and August you have. I can pull up if I had time. I would go ahead into the archives. Right, there's got to have been like 80 times the Yankees have had bases jacked. They don't score a run. They can't push the guy over. So that's the regular season. Then you trickle into the playoffs, and it's just one-run baseball every fucking game. They're never scoring. They can't move any runners over. They can't play any small ball. Even if they're going to play big ball, they don't hit home runs. They strike out. We saw with Judge. Fixed his swing completely. Fixed his approach. Didn't strike out this year. Historic season. Hits .311. The whole fucking 9. Gets to the playoffs. He strikes out every at-bat. Can't do anything. No one can do anything besides Rizzo and Stanton when he runs into one. And obviously Bader got hot. So from 2018 on, 2019 actually, really, because after that they signed Cole. They cannot hit when it matters, and they continue to beat their head against the wall and pat themselves on the back for signing a guy like Carlos Rodon, who I love. And I didn't know he was a Miami guy, which is fucking awesome. I think he went to NC State, but I'm a big fan of his now. I've done a lot of due diligence. Not that I hadn't known about him before, but I'm excited about the signing. They have a great pitching rotation now. That's not the issue, okay? If they're going to still hit – if they're going to compile 4 to 5 hits a game in the playoffs, and they're gonna get shut out and held to one-run ball, they're not going anywhere. So Hal like the cuck he is has to write. I think he either said it or wrote it. I didn't see him say it, but he wrote it. He tweeted like, "We're not done. We're not done." You're not done when you trade for Brian Reynolds. I don't want to fucking hear it. Okay, when you trade for Brian Reynolds, then you're done. So get Cashman, get him ready, get the fucking seat warmers on there, and get him fucking ready. I want to see Brian Reynolds on this team before the middle of January. I do. I don't care who you have to give up. This isn't a panic move. This move should have been made months ago. Okay? Trade whoever you got to trade. Prospect-wise, anyone. I don't care. I'm tired of waiting for these prospects. They have never worked out. Never. I'll go on the list of how they've mismanaged and horribly cultivated these prospects that I don't care if Jason Dominguez becomes literally Trout and Mickey Mantle reincarnated. I don't even know how you say that. Either way, I don't care. Trade him. We're winning now. It's time to win now. Judge is 30, or he's going to be 31. Rizzo is 33. Fucking Garrett Cole is in his 30s. You have other guys who are in the prime of their lives. DJ LeMahieu is not young. Go ahead and win now before it's too late. Why are we spending all this money? Even Rodon is not young. He's in he's 30, I believe. So bottom line is, go ahead and trade for Brian Reynolds. He's a guy who is going to, again, he's going to be able to hit you from both sides of the plate. I know he had a little bit of a down year average-wise. He's a borderline 300 hitter. He's got great pop, good fielder, speed. Just sign him. That's still not the full answer. It depends if Peraza can really play shortstop well in terms of hitting the ball. We know he could field with the glove all day. You need Reynolds. You need to sign Reynolds, or you need to trade for Brian Reynolds. I don't want to hear it. Give him Dominguez. What happened to all these pitching prospects that are now gone? The only guy that they trade who looked good is Sears, and they trade him for Frankie Montas, who's as useless as a fucking bag of potatoes. I mean, really, it's just so pathetic with this team. And I just think about when I was a child, and I grew up in the era where the Yankees didn't win, but they spent. So we're talking about the Giambi days, the Gary Sheffield days, the Bobby Abreu days, and I trust me, I fucking loved that era because those are my guys, clearly. But they never won. They won the tail end of it because they signed CeCe. But now the tables have turned. The tables have turned thick. They've turned big, the tables. And as I said at the beginning of this podcast, we have a genuine situation. And it won't be anything other than a situation until they fucking win. Okay? So, I mean, we're going to see what happens this year. When they win 98 games, their pitchers have great ERAs, and they do well. And they have 2 hitters that hit above 280, and they lose in the second round of the playoffs because they can't hit. We'll see. Until then, I'll be bitching and I'll be watching SNY and enjoying watching a real team play. It's just how I feel. I'll be enjoying listening to a real owner. Listen, Steve Cohen with the tweets, all that shit. If I was a Mets fan, I wouldn't give a fuck. I would love it. Enjoy. That's my last word of advice. If you're a Mets fan, just enjoy it. Enjoy it, and don't tell me that I'm a negative Yankees fan and that I am expecting too much and that I have too high expectations. No. The expectations is a championship. No doubt in my brain. It's a championship. When you spend this much and you underperform to this level and you don't address needs, you're supposed to. This is your if I had all day to just sit around and perfect the team that I'm given, I'm alluding to Cashman, and I was given all this money. I'm not saying I would have did a better job than him because who the fuck knows, but the point is that I'd at least be trying to address some needs. I'd be getting some more left-handed bats. I'd be maybe not trading for a 38-year-old fucking piece of shit like Josh Donaldson, who is just useless. Okay, I'm hot. I'm hot right now. It's the middle of the fucking day. Mikey's hot. Johnny's hot. Whatever you want to call me. I'm going to sign off here. So, Johnny out. Let's go Yankees. And Jacksonville by 80 touchdowns on Thursday. Bye-bye.